Karan Chelsea fans, welcome to another episode of Chelseakaaran channel. And in we discuss is a player the entire Chelsea fan base is very hyped up about, and that is Enzo Fernandes. Chelseakaaran Enzo announcement stream you saw close to 350 people joining in a Fulham match, which is unprecedented. And it is proof of how excited all Chelsea fans are. And Enzo stats there is more than enough reason to get excited. Screen share. Okay. Yep. So straight this Enzo's scouting report over the last 365 days. And all the position pertaining to important stats are his passing stats. So attempts close to 100 passes per game, amazing. Progressive passes, large proportion of those are into progressive areas. Final third lotana, again, great to see. And I think the first stat that we should highlight is all the detailed passing stats nokumbo. This is CBSC topper mark sheet passes completed, short passes. He completes a huge portion of the short passes. Long pass, he completes around almost 13.5 long passes per game, which is crazy. Chelsea midfield then I think criticism is not enough progression from midfield. And these stats looks like Enzo is the ideal fit for our midfield. And there are broadly three ways that Chelsea can use Enzo's qualities in a tactical sense. And we first discuss is in build-up play. Fulham match our on-ball structure looked something like this. So Badiashile and Thiago Silva would split and hold wide. Enzo would slot in as a third center back. Immediately Kepa build up one option. So you can either play the ball wide to Badiashile or Thiago Silva, and they're great on the ball. Badiashile has been a very, very pleasant surprise, and Enzo is always available in these positions. So structure looked very similar. Conor Gallagher and Mason Mount drop either, they would help out in build up. If they were pressed, if Willian press Andres Pereira, Badiashile and Mitrovic Enzo press all three had an option to punch the ball into Conor Gallagher or Mason Mount. So the play was sorted because they're very, very comfortable on the ball. Enzo was always showing for the ball, always asking for the ball. It was great to see the amount of progression that Enzo was able to bring. And when the ball went back to Kepa, ball advanced the session whenever we had to drop back, Enzo was always available and always showing for the ball. Passing triangle, we always had the option to move the ball fast between these four players and then only Kukurale to ball, Reece James to ball. So this build-up structure was very, very evident. Even Kepa has the passing range, Kukurale to long ball. Thiago Silva again number but again Thiago Silva again is sublime. Is one of the best players I've seen play for Chelsea. Our build-up play was mostly sorted within this one structure, but Enzo also gave us another option. Reece James, whenever he was allowed to take up these advanced positions, Enzo was very comfortable slotting in. Right center back position on the ball Enzo. And because of his long passing capabilities, he was able to play the balls in. He was able to find Mount and Conor. Areas passing quality. He was always able to play the ball long to Ziyech, to Cucurella. He was able to switch play. In build-up, Enzo's passing quality gives us these multiple options. And in modern football, especially, every team wants to play with the ball on the ground, wants to play with majority of possession. Enzo's quality player in the first phase of build-up is super, super useful. And second tactical option that Enzo gives us, especially most teams that you see attack now, play progress I think one pitch in flank play progress here. Conte Chelsea 99% of the time ball starting would go from Courtois to Azpilicueta, and then ball would progress down the right flank. Even the best teams like City, like Liverpool, a lot of the play progresses down any one flank. City Danangi, they have these tight, quick exchanges on either flank, and they're able to release players into space, which is where the switch of play is super useful. Jorginho Kovacicine and Tarthi Parella, they had very different qualities. Jorginho was super at finding people in space between the lines. Kovacic was great at running with the ball and progressing. The switch of play was never one of their strengths. But let's assume play progresses down one flank. Cucurella has the ball in these areas, and then Mount is the more realistic option. And support option on Mudryk is someone who is stretching the pitch wide and is able to make these runs in behind the opposition fullback. So in these situations, opposition is the most the area of the pitch where maximum attacking threat can come is obviously closer to the ball. Appo the defense will obviously shuffle and become narrow. Post in the immediate width cover protect defense in the first priority. So when this happens, that Chelsea will always have a spare man on the opposite side of the pitch. Within an example, right here in the previous match versus Fulham, ball was exclusively played down the left flank. Ziyech is in acres of space and calling for the ball. Mountain criticize, but obviously he has 3 players in and around him. Spotting this pass is pretty difficult. But multiple times in a match, you will see these situations happening. This is where Enzo's long ball playing capacity can be used. If Enzo in this position, Toni Kroos areas occupy, if Mount is not able to release the ball into Mudryk, we are not able to create much. That is always the option of the ball going to Enzo, and then Enzo with his passing range can find whoever is in space. For Reece James, it can be Ziyech. So when this quick switch of play happens, you're obviously able to create overloads on the pitch. Example, videos permission illa, copyright strikes are a huge issue. So share screenshots which adjust for now. Badiashile was not able to progress the ball. Everyone is very tightly marked. The ball comes back to Enzo. Reece James frame illa, but he spots Reece in play. And let's go to the next slide. When the ball reaches Reece, we have already taken out multiple Fulham players from play. Recently, obviously, very obvious options are in behind Robinson, and Robinson is now overloaded. He has 2 Chelsea players attacking his zone of the pitch. Only he can play the ball into Ziyech, or you have Conor Gallagher breaking into the box. Kai Havertz, our striker, has occupied 2 defenders. He's also breaking into the box. So the quick switch of play opens up multiple tactical options in attack. And again, so adapted passing, he averages 2.3 key passes per game. The number 10 the numbers are passes into the final third. He's in the 99th percentile. Progressive passes, he's in the 99th percentile. It's very obvious Enzo's mindset is to always play the ball forward. A safe option so the switch of play is one thing that Chelsea can unlock using Enzo's passing capabilities. And the last tactical option that Enzo gives us is obviously his attacking capabilities. So let's go to Enzo's who scored. And again, compare his key passes versus similar players. Similar players are Toni Kroos and Bruno Guimaraes. You're able to see 2 key passes per game. Amazing numbers. If I'm wrong, Toni Kroos is compared to Enzo. So let's come to key passes. 2.1 key passes, very similar numbers. Let's go to Bruno Guimaraes. Key passes again. But there are other players who take up a lot of the creative roles in midfield here. These are healthy numbers, but just shows how good Enzo is at creating chances. Martin Odegaard creativity this season. Martin Odegaard is averaging 2.2. Deep midfield Enzo is averaging is very close to how many key passes Martin Odegaard creates. When you have a player who is so good at influencing play in advanced areas, purely defensive midfielder, you're missing out on so many of his other qualities. So let's come to this again. Shooting statistics. Yep. So Enzo averages close to 2 shots per game. And I'm pretty sure Cruz in ഇതിലും കുറവാണ്. Again, Bruno Guimaraes. Again, I'm thinking definitely less compared to Enzo. 0.8 shots per game. And then you're also looking at Enzo's creativity. Expected assists are 0.3. For 3 കളിക്ക് assist, expected assist, അത്രയും chances create ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു player. And he averages 6 percentile for assists again. Up again, the stats obviously point to the fact that if Enzo is only played in areas matram play influence ചെയ്യുന്ന രീതിക്ക് ഒരു റോൾ എൻസോന് കൊടുക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ you are missing out on so much of his other qualities. An ideal situation for me is you bring in someone like, let's say, you bring in someone like Declan Rice, or it can even be Moises Caicedo. You tell Declan Rice to purely protect the defense, to take up these positions, and Enzo gets a license to break forward and influence play. So if he arrives closer to the box, he can obviously pick these passes to Ziyech. He can obviously pick these passes to these teams. Mudryk running in behind, he can start affecting play here. But the closer you play Enzo to the box, the more attacking license you give him, he can definitely reap from Enzo's qualities. Up again, rumors under that we will bring in a defensive midfielder in the summer. Hopefully, profile on someone who can just sit and protect space. Rice can be Caicedo. It can also be someone like, let's say, Amrabat or Palhinha. All of these are players who also have the capability to break forward, but they are also very comfortable in a primarily defensive role. Profile I think we will completely unlock 100% of Enzo's creative capabilities. Again, I'm super hyped about the player, but Koulibaly വന്നപ്പോഴും ഏകദേശം ഇതേ അവസ്ഥ ആയിരുന്നു. So I don't want to jinx it by being too optimistic, but after a long time, the entire Chelsea fan base is uniformly hyped. ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു player വന്നയുടെ പുറകെ everyone is united and definitely rooting for him to perform well. So super excited. And again, I'm not a tactical expert. I'm just a fan trying to learn more about tactics and data. So any feedback at all is welcome in the comments. And if Enzo ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു tactical quality നമ്മൾ highlight ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല എന്നാണെങ്കിൽ do let us know and we'll definitely fix those in the coming videos. Cool guys, thank you and have a great day.